Hi, this is Julian. It's been a while, but we're back with some of the new features in our June release, and I'm going to walk through one of the bigger ones, which is schedule. Let's look at schedule here. So you'll notice that much is the same, but there's a lot of nuanced differences in the product now. They all kind of come in to work with getting you, the clinician, a better experience walking through what the clinical model has laid out. So let's look at that. Similar page, let's go to the directory page, and this time when you add a person into the system, you're going to have slightly different set of choices. So let's go ahead and try this. So we're going to add in Amelia here, and we're going to say add a new case. This is nothing new, but now we have a drop-down list that says, okay, apply to schedule to that. So your clinical provider, your clinical model, has schedules, which basically are layouts of what a case should look like. So we're going to go with the Seattle only schedule, and it's 30 days with 10 appointments and 5 documents. And we're going to say, go ahead, and then we're going to add this. So add new case here, and we're going to watch how that goes. So everything looks the same. We now have it as part of a case, and Amelia's there. We're going to go to Amelia's page, and as we see, Amelia's here, but here's a difference. Look at all the documents. All the documents and appointments have been laid out here. So we're already starting with a bunch of information, how the provider has wanted you, the dates and everything for the progression of the documents. Not too much has changed here. This is very familiar territory, but if you go over and you see where your link is to manage case, this has always been a link, and it used to pull up the case info here. At this point, if you hit case info, it goes over to a new page, which is the case view. The case view you'll see is quite different. The case is open. It says who it's about. This gives you some general information along with the details, clinical information. You can do the clinical info, just the usual from over here. Start filling out the clinical info, right? But there's some new stuff. Let's focus on what's new. So the first thing that's new is the schedule. As you see, you can apply different schedules, and you can apply this live. So if you change the schedule, you'll notice that there's a change in the timeline below. Let's watch that again. There, here's the schedule, and this is how it lines up. I'm sure this is catching your eye. This is the fidelity ratio. As you notice, there is a calculation based on A, the time frames of the schedule, B, the documents and appointments within the schedule, and your completion of them. So right now, right out of the gate, I have a 44% fidelity ratio. I have not even really started in terms of the work, but I'm getting points. If we want to go look, I am getting points, 100% score on just within the time frame of the schedule, and let's go look one more time, 100% on my score of do I have all the cases and appointments from within the schedule. Now, of course, I can put more stuff in there, but the things that I'm being scored on are all there. So what's this? This is new. This is the timeline. This should be helpful to you. We have a starting bracket, which is the start of the case. We have an ending bracket, which is the end of the case. This will follow what the case dates are up here. And as we progress through, there will be a red line that shows you today's date and how far through you are as you go. You can use your mouse wheel and zoom in. You can move out. You can zoom in and move out. If you see they gray out, that means we have Saturdays and Sundays. And if you'll notice that we do have some stuff that falls on Saturdays and Sundays. So I'm going to show you how to take a generic schedule, which is what everyone will get from their clinical model, and readjust it the way just the way that you're going to run your case. Now, let's start from the beginning. All right, so we'll look back here, and with this client, the truth is we're not working Saturdays and Sundays. So there's a few different ways I could move it. First of all, I could grab an item here, and I could move them out. And if you'll notice, it should move to Monday. So this document now is set for Monday. If you notice when I click on it, it's still associated with the scheduled item in the case schedule that was laid out by my provider. However, this item here has been moved to Monday. No problem. I still get 100% credit. Now, here's another appointment. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move that as well for Monday. All right, and it says that's also now moved to Monday. Now, you notice there, we're still associated, so no problem. Our score hasn't changed based on that. So we now have a bunch of appointments here that are all kind of falling on the wrong dates. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to say, let's say this looks like we have something that happens twice a week or something like that. But with our client, it's going to be on Thursdays. We're going to have a follow-up phone call, it looks like, on Thursday. I'm going to go ahead and move this here. Okay, let's just say Wednesday. I want to now kind of take all these items and move them all to Wednesday within the week. And here's how I'm going to do that. I'm going to double click on this. Okay, I'm going to go to my information. Oh, look at that. So 6 a.m., that's not right. So we're going to go Wednesday, and we're going to go, it's actually going to be at 10 a.m. And this system's only going to be 45 minutes for the call, and I'm going to press save. Now here's a new feature. The system now basically looks at all what you've got laying out in the future, and it says, hey, there are 7 similar appointments. Would you like to move their scheduled time to Wednesday at 10 a.m. as well? You could say yes. And at this point, we are going to see how everything got moved. All right, so at this point, it stacked them up as it saw fit. So here's Wednesday, but then there are a few things basically moved over. It stacked them up all within the weeks as it did it best it can. It's okay, didn't quite get it right. It takes a few options to get it right here. So we now have some Wednesdays, but let's say we also do a phone call on Monday. That's fine. So for this week, we're going to take one of these items, that one right here, and we're going to say, what we're going to do is we're going to actually ask it within its setting to align itself back up. So we're going to go and move it here, and that should be, I think that's Monday, right? And then with this item, we're going to move it over to the end of the week. And we'll just see that moves to Friday, and so that's Wednesday. So now we have these items as they progress. And so that looks like a Saturday. We're not going to complete it on Saturday. We're going to move it over and complete it Sunday. We're going to do that again over here. We're going to say, you know what? We're going to move this to Monday. We think, yeah, that's Tuesday, so maybe we'll go back one more. Let's see here. There we go, Monday. That is Wednesday. And if we want to add a new item, it's pretty easy. We can just click and say add an item. There's a bunch of options we can do, and I can show you some of that later. So once again, we're going to realign this schedule here, and we're going to see where that ends up. That's Monday, and we know that one of those is Wednesday. And there's the end of the case. If we zoom in, we realize we're ending on a Tuesday. We can basically move these over and say, actually, this case is going to end on a Monday. Here we go. Now, one thing we did get as a benefit is we did tell those appointments that they'll always be at 10 a.m. So no matter what we're doing here, we have, if we come over, these types of appointments are always 45 minutes and they start at 10 a.m. So we inherited our Wednesday, and then we put some on a Monday there too. So this is how it looks. We now have this fairly lined up. That was fairly simple. As we move and progress through, let's see. as we move and progress, we will be able to see all of our stuff. Let's just refresh this page. All right, let me go. Let me just show all here. And we'll show all the sessions. Here we go. Here's all of our sessions. So as we click through, you can notice that they highlight across what we've got here. See that? We're just highlighting them all. This case started on May, the date, May 14th. We can also change the start dates by coming up here and readjusting the dates here if we chose to start on a different date. So this should make your life really easy in terms of following the steps up here of the schedule and then aligning for your personal case how it's going to go. This will keep track of how things are happening, and as we complete things you can double click, bring that up. Let's say it's a little early, but we're just going to for kicks show you that these can be completed. We'll just go ahead and assign it a completion here, and as they get completed you notice how your score goes up. We're at 100% just because we've got things completed for the time that we're at. Clearly, as the item progresses, we would lose points if we didn't have things completed. But here we go. So we've got the items completed, and you'll notice that green means it's got a match. Green means it has a match. Dotted dash green means there's a match, but it's not completed. Now, if we add something that does not show up in our, something that basically is available to us, but not part of our, not part of the quote-unquote schedule that's been laid out. So let's see if I added we're going to go ahead and just put in just any document form here and say, okay, put that on. No, we won't navigate to it, but you're going to notice how it shows up. It shows up as purple if I don't highlight it. So an item there is purple. Let's go ahead and I'll look at the documents here. So there it is. If I highlight it, it highlights up here. That's the document I just added. It's purple. It means that, hey, no worries. This is an item you added that doesn't necessarily show up in what the schedule provider said, but hey, there it is. It's right in there. You can do some cool things. If you find something that's in the schedule that you don't have, click on it, go up here, add selected. If you want this thing, if you ever move your schedule and say new dates and everything here is all stayed back while your schedule moved forward, you can always come down here and say resync. It'll sync everything up as close as it can, and then you can start moving stuff around. Sorry, that was the cat. All right, so I hope this is going to be a very productive system, and I hope that this is going to make it very easy and logical to follow how a case progresses and how the model provider has laid out for the progression. And that's one of the many new features in our new system. Thank you for watching.